Hi, Vin from Change Rooms here, and I'd like to talk to you about gaining muscle. Lots of people are interested in gaining muscle for obvious reasons, that it burns body fat and your metabolism is increased, and for guys obviously you look a lot better with the more muscle you have. But a lot of the time you go to these gyms, these commercial gyms, and you see guys training and really they're not training right. They're lifting heavy weights and they're not doing them correctly. They're not doing them for, they're not keeping their muscles under tension for long enough to get any sort of muscle response. And they're taking way too long rests for what they want to gain. Obviously taking a long rest is good if you want to do things like improve your strength. But let's be honest, most people are in the gym for one reason, and that's to try and gain muscle and to look good. In order to do that, you've got to really keep your rest periods short. Hypertrophy, normally you would want to keep your rest periods in between about a minute, maybe a minute and a half between each exercise. Now, a lot of the time people will lift a weight that's far too heavy for them. They'll bounce it off their chest. Let's say, for instance, if they're doing a bench press, and the weight come down, they'll bounce it back up, and they'll arch their back. They're not keeping the muscle under tension whatsoever. They're not getting the full effect of the training exercise that they're supposed to be doing. The whole point in training is that you're giving your body slight tears, so you're giving your muscle slight tears. So that's why after a good gym session, you're feeling tired, your muscles are feeling tight, and they feel quite sore. A lot of the time, people who might not have trained before might think that this soreness is something to do with them pulling a muscle. And when in actual fact it's not, this is the pain that you want, and it means that you have a really good session. Now, if you're bouncing the weight off your chest, this isn't really going to occur because it's momentum that's lifting the weight. It's not actually the muscle. And this is what you want to always remember when you're lifting weights, is that you need to focus on the muscle that you're working. So let's say, for instance, if you're doing a chest, you need to focus on the chest. So when you're bringing down the weight, you do it slow and controlled. You need to make sure that that is the muscle that's working, not your shoulders. You're not jerking it up with your triceps, but you're focusing on your chest. So nice and slow down for controlled tempo for 4 seconds, straight, right down when you get to the bottom, you're pushing it back up, no rest at the top, nice and slow back down again. You're taking minimal rest in between exercises as well. So you don't want your muscles to completely recover. You want your muscles to recover slightly and then go straight back into it so you can train it again. So you need to really stress that muscle. Now, right after a workout, muscles aren't going to grow. And they're not going to repair unless you give them the nutrients to grow. It's like building a house. If you're building a house, you can have all the builders there and ready to build this house, but unless you give them the building blocks to do it, it's not going to get built. Okay, so you can have all the intention to build muscle. You're in the gym, you're pumping weights, you're training 6 days a week, which is too much by the way. But let's say you're training 5 times a week, and you're finishing the weight room, and then you have your little bit of chicken after a session, and that's it. You need to increase your protein intake. Okay, you need to be able to increase your protein. You need to be able to repair the muscle. In order for the muscle to repair, to get stronger, to get bigger, in order for you to have a good amount of energy for the next day as well. So post-workout nutrition is really, really important. For instance, if you're around 100 kilos for a guy or 90 kilos for a guy, you should be aiming for around 200 grams of protein a day. That's just to maintain your muscle. Okay? So if you're having 3 meals a day, you're having 3 eggs in the morning, you're having a little bit of chicken at lunchtime, and maybe a little bit of salmon in the evening time, that's fine. And you know, you'll lose weight. The only problem is you'll lose muscle as well, which, let's be honest, we don't want. We want to keep muscle. Okay? So the more muscle we have, the more body fat we burn during the day, sitting down watching TV or playing with your kids, or when you're at work as well. So remember, keep your protein high. So keep your protein high, get lots and lots of rest, and be really careful in the gym, really focus in the gym. Make sure you're focusing on the muscle that you're working. Try not to cheat. At the end of the day, you're only really cheating yourself, and enjoy it, because that's what you're supposed to do. Okay. All right, cheers, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.